Yeah, this is gonna be my journal for the 28th, Tuesday. Just gonna be basically jotting down what I saw in price section. So, going into the day, I had a bearish bias. Reason being, I saw this as like a pool of buy side, and all of Asia and like London, rallied up straight into that buy side pool. And it also nearly I never did, but it got near to equilibrium. And so from there, I was expecting a run to these sell side pools, which was the Asia low, and even yesterday's PM session low. I also saw that price was sitting in this 4 hour gap, so that's like another confluence for shorts. So basically, the trade that I did take pre-market was this short right here. Now, the reason I took this short was because at this point in time, we had this SMT. This was an SMT with ES. So after coming into the 4 hour gap, this is what I'm talking about. Sorry, this would be what I'm talking about. This area. After it came up, took that buy side pull. We had a change in the state of delivery, which is more clear, probably about here. This is the change in state of delivery after this candle. And after that, we had like fair value gaps on the higher time frame. We had this 30-minute, and when I break that down, there was also an hourly up here, and on the 5 minute, because I like to go down on my time frames and basically go work backwards. We also had this. Oh, sorry. We also had this fair value gap after it made its way all the way into this, which was the hourly one, which is all confluences for me to take shorts. Like it reached the right points. We had SMT. This was an SMT, and so pre-market, as soon as I saw this SMT, I took that short there with my stop above this SMT high, which is about 60 ticks. Now, from 917, I had a feeling because it wasn't displacing enough. I began to see these slow candles, and this was my target. This and this low. But despite it being like halfway, I wasn't seeing any displacement. And I didn't want to risk price coming back into the fair value gap again, or worse, even stopping me out. And that's the thing with entering at pre-market. You literally don't know what open is going to do. In some cases, you do, it's just going to continue to move. But I knew that, or like I thought, there'll be a chance I could get stopped out and another soup could occur. And so at 917, which was about here, I chose to go, actually 916, I chose to go break even here. So I made my stop down and I just took the break even. And looking back, that was the right thing to do because there was just no speed. If it was larger candles with fair value gaps in between being filled and completely respected, then I would have been more confident. And if I took a loss there, then I would have had to expect it because I literally waited for the entire system. And so I can't really complain. But after this total soup, this would have been the ideal, like in New York session short that I should have taken. The only issue with this is anywhere, this first one, I would my stop would have been too big. I like to enter at the start of the fair value gap, but and also keep my stop maybe above here, not at the fair value gap, because I do feel kind of uncomfortable here. Um, Nothing I could have done is maybe entering at the consequent, even then, my stop is a little bigger than I like. I usually aim for around 50 to 60, but on days with heavier volume, I do understand that I might have to increase my risk slightly. And so maybe that's what I could have done. Looking back, I'll just have to write that down for later. This basically ran all the way down to sell side pool, which is this sell side pool, and ES also did the same. The only issue was from here, I was kind of at this point, I began to heavily wonder, or like question whether we were going to continue lower. Because in the end, I did want to see this low taken out and potentially make our way down here. But the issue was, I was thinking about it in the context. The reason why NQ dropped so suddenly was because of like the deep seek stuff. And so maybe after clearing the air a bit, would see price go up a bit. Maybe investors are buying back up, or would even need to rebalance price basically, because that was an inefficient drop. So I wanted to see. I was also thinking that we could price back up here, because these are also relatively equal highs. So then I began to think in the bullish scenario. I didn't do anything after we took this sell side. I realized we weren't displacing, and I was looking at these 5 minute fair value gaps I formed. Because in the end, if my idea was right, I should be taking shorts from here. So I'm watching as price goes in there. How is it reacting? But clearly, price is just breaking past every single bearish fair value gap, the bearish 5 minute fair value gap. And so we broke through both of them by literally displacing through them. With this candle, we closed above this fair value gap right here, and that was basically like my confirmation. Yeah, we're bullish. But looking back, um, I'm not sure how like see that earlier, but I guess it's just also to think about the bullish scenario like a bit earlier. From from the macro, which would have been 950 to 1010, price did after reaching the liquidity pool, it broke structure, and we saw price respecting gaps and moving higher. And so I wanted to basically switch my bias and take a long because we already broke above all of these highs with displacement too. So I didn't see any need for us to go back down. Price was clearly telling me that we're bullish. And in these scenarios, when I'm looking for a place to enter, usually every single ICT trader would begin to think, oh, let me wait for equilibrium or discount. But in this case, I realized that this is kind of like an immediate rebalance, as in we created that downwards swing, but we immediately rebalanced it with the buy side of the curve. So it's a balanced price range. This entire range is balanced. So when I was looking for a place to enter, I was seeing this 5 minute gap, which also overlapped with this bullish breaker, this high to low. Now when I draw out my breakers with the highest candles, I didn't actually have this on my chart as I took the position, but looking back on it, it makes sense that I should have just drawn out because like the bodies just respect it so cleanly, and it would have given me confirmation to enter as soon as I saw this candle. But I wanted to wait for a reaction because I was also questioning my bias a bit. But in the end, after we created these two up close candles, I wanted to just enter on the third. I didn't want to wait for the close above. So as it began to form, I did take the long. Right before the long though, I was beginning to think, yo, maybe we just swoop this high and we're about to short. But then again, I just had to keep reminding myself that we have displacement upwards, we're broken structure on a higher time frame, and we have clear draws which are equal highs. These two equal highs, and since price moves to take our highs and to rebalance to inefficiencies at equilibrium, I knew it had to be done. I knew it had to be bullish, and so yeah, took the position there. Went in for 300 and yeah, to these highs, I think it was 302 ticks. So just slightly around there. And yeah, that's what it was. Right now, price is just consolidating straight after run. I think this was the daily target. I would like to see us maybe come back into the range a bit and then go higher. But yeah, what was the trade today? Um, yeah, definitely need to look back at today because there were some things that I did right and some things that maybe I could improve on. And yeah.